Hello. So last class we have discussed about interference, then minimum number of teeth, and the force analysis we made. How the forces are acting at different gears when two gears are meeting. For the two gears, how radial and tangential force and the resultant force in the form of normal force is acting, we have seen. And what are the component and what are the relation between force and torque, we have seen. And also we have seen that tangential force is the main force which responsible for transmitting the power or torque. Okay, so today we will be knowing another one important criteria or important equation, that is known as Lewis equation. This Lewis equation basically given by a scientist that is known as Wilfred Lewis. He investigated first time as bending stresses in the gear tooth, and he has given that equation, and that's why this equation is known as or Lewis equation. And he has given this equation in the year of 1892. In the year of 1892 he has given this equation. So when he derived the strength of a gear due to the application of bending stress, he made some assumptions. Okay, so first we will be knowing about the assumptions of Lewis equation. So let's see the assumptions. Okay, so first assumptions he assumed that our first that gear will be assumed as a cantilever beam. Okay, so gear tooth লুইস প্রথমে অ্যাজিউম করেছিলেন যে গিয়ার টুথ ইজ অ্যাজিউমড অ্যাজ ক্যান্টিলিভার বিম। ওকে, তারপরে সেকেন্ড যে অ্যাজাম্পশনটা করেছিলেন সেটা হচ্ছে যে আমাদের যখন ফোর্স অ্যাক্ট হয় গিয়ার টুথগুলোতে, তখন আমাদের দেখেছিলাম যে একটা এফ অফ টি অ্যাক্ট হচ্ছিল আর একটা অ্যাক্ট হচ্ছিল আমাদের কি রেডিয়াল ফোর্স এফ অফ আর। এই যে এফ অফ টির জন্য আমাদের শিয়ার স্ট্রেস ডেভেলপড হয় আর এফ অফ আর জন্য কম্প্রেসিভ লোড অ্যাক্ট হয়, কম্প্রেসিভ স্ট্রেস ডেভেলপড হয়। সেটা আগের ক্লাসে আমরা দেখেছিলাম যে নেচার অফ ফোর্সগুলো। ঠিক আছে, তো এই যে লুইস অ্যাজিউম করে নিয়েছিলেন যে আমাদের যে ডাইরেক্ট শিয়ার স্ট্রেস আর যে কম্প্রেসিভ স্ট্রেস হচ্ছে সেইটাকে আমরা কনসিডার করব না, সেটাকে আমরা নেগলেক্ট করব। ঠিক আছে, তো সেকেন্ড অ্যাজাম্পশন যেটা করেছিলেন উনি সেটা হচ্ছে দ্য এফেক্ট অফ ডাইরেক্ট শিয়ার due to f of t and compressive stress due to f of r is neglected. He neglect the effect of direct shear and effect of compressive stress. Okay, so the third assumptions he made, the effect of stress concentration is negligible, means due to some corner points or some discontinuity of area there will be stress concentration. So the effect of stress concentration he neglected, he had not considered. তো কি হচ্ছে the effect of stress concentration is neglected, মানে স্ট্রেস কনসেন্ট্রেশনের কনসেপ্টটাই অ্যাজিউম করেনি। আবার বলেছি কি যে সব সময় আমাদের অনলি ওয়ান পেয়ার অফ গিয়ার ইজ ইন কন্ট্যাক্ট, মানে যখন আমাদের পাওয়ারটা ট্রান্সমিট হয় তখন আমাদের এক পেয়ার মানে দুটো টিথে কন্ট্যাক্টে থাকবে, ঠিক আছে। নেক্সট যেটা অ্যাজিউম করেছে, নেক্সট অ্যাজিউমটা কি বলেছে, গিয়ার টুথ আমরা দেখেছিলাম যে ইনভলিউট প্রোফাইল হয়, কিন্তু উনি সেটা অ্যাজিউম করে নিয়েছেন যে আমাদের সমস্ত গিয়ার টুথে প্রাইসমেটিক বার হবে, মানে প্রিজম আর কি, রেক্ট্যাঙ্গুলার প্রিজম। তো বলেছে যে টুথ ইজ অ্যাজিউমড অ্যাজ প্রাইসমেটিক বার। আরও অ্যাজামশন করেছেন উনি, সেটা হচ্ছে যে যখন আমাদের টুতে ফোর্স হয় সেই ফোর্সের জন্য আমরা অলরেডি ডিফ্লেকশন অফ বিম পড়েছিলাম, ক্যান্টিলিভার বিম যখন অ্যাজিউম করেছি তখন ডিফ্লেকশন হতেই পারে, কিন্তু বলেছে ডিফ্লেকশন যেটা হয় সেই ডিফ্লেকশনটাও উনি নেগলিজেবল করেছে, ঠিক আছে। তো ডিফ্লেকশন অফ টুথ ইজ নেগলিজেবল, মানে যতটা ডিফ্লেকশন হয় সেটা নেগলিজেবল লেভেলে, খুব কম ডিফ্লেকশন হয় তার জন্য ওটা অ্যাজিউম করেছে নেগলিজেবল। আবার আরেকটা বলেছে ইনার্সিয়া অফ রোটেটিং পার্ট, inertia of rotating part also negligible. So these are the assumptions which made by Wilfred Lewis during his investigation on the bending stress of a gear tooth. Okay, so now let's see how he made the, or he has given the strength. Okay, so next we will be knowing about strength. So for deriving the strength we need to know about the forces, already we have seen, and we have to see the gear tooth. Okay, so let's see. So here we have shown the gear tooth, that is our, this is gear, that Fn, this is acting normal along the pressure line. Okay, and we resolve this Fn into two component, one is our Ft, another one is Fr, that we have seen in last lecture already. Okay, so now this is our total one tooth. If we see 3D figure, then here you can see that Fr is acting radially, F of t is tangential. Okay, and it is this is the thickness of the gear, and this is the width, face width of the gear, that is B here assumed. Okay, we have taken that from the root above h distance that force F of t is acting. Okay, we have assumed one point, that is above h, it is acting. Okay, so generally what happened, that when power is transmitting, that actual load is acting as a UDL. Okay, that keep it in mind, note that actual load acting as a UDL, sorry, actual load acting as UDL. UDL means uniformly distributed load. Okay, actual load is acting as a UDL, but here we have assumed that this load is acting as a point load, F of t. F of t, that is above h distance, that point, here F of t is acting. Okay, but actually what happens, like this, that force is acting uniformly distributed, UDL. Already all of you know that what is UDL. UDL means uniformly distributed load. Okay, so this is, and next assume he has made that our gear tooth will be prismatic bar. Okay, so this is our prismatic bar, so this is T and this is our B. Okay, so this is all out, but already many times we have discussed that when we are going to design any component of a machine, then always we need to design, or we need to save the critical point of the component, critical point. And as we know, critical point means that is the weakest part of the component, or on that part maximum stress is acting or maximum stress is induced. So here as we know that in cantilever beam always that maximum force or maximum stress is produced at the fixed support. Okay, so here this is our fixed support, so we can say this will be our critical point. Okay, so this we can say this is our critical point, and if we can save this critical point then our gear tooth will be safe. Okay, so as we know that at the cross section or at the section XX, this section, if you take this section XX, then what will be the moment, bending moment? Can you tell me what will be the bending moment? That bending moment MXX or MB, let's bending moment MB is our what? That is force into perpendicular distance. Force is Ft, because due to the Ft it will bend, the tooth will bend. Okay, so this is our Ft into H, that perpendicular distance about which we are determining the moment. Okay, now we know the bending stress. We know bending stress sigma B is equal to MBY by INA. We know this is our bending stress. Now let's find what will be the Y and what will be INA. Already MB we have determined. Okay, so let's give this as a equation number 1. So now this is our prismatic bar, so we can say that INA, our moment of inertia about the neutral axis, that is moment of inertia about neutral axis, moment of inertia about neutral axis, that is our BT cube by 12, because our bending will be along the thickness. Okay, so that is our BT cube by 12. Similarly, Y is the value of distance from the neutral axis, so Y will be our T by 2, but we can say Y max will be T by 2. So now from equation 1 we can say that sigma B is equal to MB is F of T into H into Y max is equal to T by 2, and that is our INA BT cube by 12. Okay, so now if we simplify these things, we will be getting 6 F of T H by B T square. Okay, so from that we will calculate. First we will find the F of T value. So F of T যদি বের করি আমরা তাহলে কি পাবো? F of T যদি বের করি তাহলে পাবো সিগমা B, এটা মাল্টিপ্লাই করো, ইন্টু B ইন্টু T স্কোয়ার বাই 6 ইন্টু H, এটা পাবো F of T। ঠিক আছে, এইখানে এবার কি করেছিলেন লুইস? করেছিলেন যে বোথ সাইডে আমাদের নিউমিরেটর, রাইট সাইডের নিউমিরেটর আর ডিনোমিনেটরে এম দিয়ে মাল্টিপ্লাই করেছে। এমটা কি? মডিউল। ওকে, তো তাহলে আমাদের যেটা করছি সেটা হচ্ছে মাল্টিপ্লাইং মডিউল, that is our m, to numerator and denominator of right numerator and denominator of right hand side. Okay, so both right hand side numerator and denominator multiplied by m. So let's see, f of t is equal to sigma b into m into t square by 6hm. Okay, this is clear. So this is our m numerator as well as denominator we have multiplied. Okay, so now this thing, after that it becomes sigma b m into y. Okay, f of t is equal to sigma b m into y. Here he mentioned that where y is equal to t square by 6hm, y is equal to t square by 6hm. Okay, so this value, and this he given a name that is known as Lewis form factor. This given the name Lewis form factor. Okay, so this is our f of t is equal to sigma b m y. So this value we got, where y is our Lewis form factor. So this one. Now from this equation, if we see that if our sigma b value is increases, then f of t's value will increase, and when sigma b will become the maximum, then our f of t also will become maximum. Okay, but on the other hand we can say if f of t is increasing, sigma b also will increase. Okay, so we can say that is our if the value of sigma b increases, then f of t also increases and becomes maximum. At certain point it becomes maximum, and this maximum value of f of t is known as beam strength of tooth. Let's see the beam strength of the beam, that is our, so f of t is maximum, then it becomes maximum, then this f of t is known as beam strength. Okay, and this beam strength I am saying as a f of t s. Okay, beam strength. So now f of t s is equal to sigma b into m into y. Okay, so this is our Lewis equation, and this is known as beam strength of the gear tooth. Beam strength of the gear tooth. Okay, so this is our beam strength. So now can you tell me what will be the definition of beam strength? What will be the definition of beam strength? So beam strength is defined as the maximum value of the tangential force that the tooth can transmit without bending failure. Okay, so beam strength can be defined as the maximum value of tangential force that can be transmit without bending failure. Okay, so this is our beam strength. So we can say beam strength is defined as the maximum value of tangential force that can transmit without bending failure. Okay, so that is our beam strength. Without bending failure, the maximum F of Ts is known as our beam strength. So keep it in mind this. And this beam strength or Lewis equation, why this Lewis equation is used? Mainly the Lewis equation is used to determine the module of the gear. Keep it in mind, if you can find or if you can determine the module, then all the parameters in gear you can determine. Okay, so beam strength generally used to determine the module of the gear. Okay, so we can say that Lewis equation is used to determine the module of a gear. Okay, so this is our beam strength and why we need this beam strength. And this also gives the Lewis equation also gives the relationship between bending stress and tangential force. You can say like this also, that bending Lewis equation makes or gives the relationship between tangential force and sigma b. Okay, so this is about our Lewis equation. Now we will be knowing about the Lewis form factor. So let's see. Already we have seen that Lewis form factor we have defined T square by 6 hm. So we have Lewis form factor, and here we have taken it as a capital Y. Okay, Lewis form factor. So this Lewis form factor Y is equal to, we are writing again pi into small y, where small y is known as tooth form factor. Small y is known as tooth form factor, and the value of this small y is our 0.154 minus 0.912 by z. This is for full depth, and pressure angle is equal to 20 degree. This tooth form factor is equal to 0.154 minus 0.912 by z. This is applicable for full depth and phi is equal to 20 degree. For different value, phi 14.5 full depth, that will be different. So keep it in mind, when you will be asking to design a gear, this value will be given. The tooth form factor, take tooth form factor as a atho, and the relation will be given. Okay, and z, you know, where z is what? Z is the number of teeth of gear. Okay, so this is our Lewis form factor, and here we can, if we write, you will get pi into 0.154 minus 0.912 by z. So this is our Lewis form factor. Okay, and this Lewis form factor also can be known as tooth geometry factor because it depends on geometry of the tooth. Okay, so Lewis form factor is also known as tooth geometry factor because it depends on number of tooth, geometry of tooth, profile and pressure angle. Okay, and the value of y generally it belongs to 0.26 to 0.34 in between. Okay, so if any information is not given, if you assume that I have assumed Lewis form factor is 0.26 or 0.28, then it's okay. Okay, so that is our Lewis form factor we have seen, and this one. Now there we have seen beam strength. Okay, so always we used to design by assuming this as a critical point, or we used to save the critical point of a component. So that we have seen that fixed point or the root portion of a gear tooth will be critical point, but which tooth of the gear? Basically, when power is transmitting between two gear, there is a two gear, so out of two gear it is not necessary that both of the two gears will be of same strength. If the gears are made of different material, then we don't know that which one will be the weaker gear, and if the gear is made of same material, then which one will be weaker. So keep in mind, if pinion and gear are made of same material, then always pinion is weaker. Okay, so when we will be designing the gear, we have to take pinion as a weaker gear. Okay, so design will be based on the pinion. If pinion and gear are made of same material, then always pinion is weaker, and design is done based on pinion. Okay, so in that pinion, that root portion will be the weaker. Okay, why this happening? Because if same material, then bending stress of pinion will be sigma b of gear, but as no zp less than is equal to zg gear, So when when the teeth in gear will be more, so our Lewis form factor yp also will be less than yg. So that's why our f of t maximum by f of ts is less than f of ts maximum of gear. Here it is pinion. Okay, so that's why always design will be made based on the what? Based on pinion. So now next situation come. If pinion and gears are made of different material, so if pinion and gear are made of different material, then our sigma, then what will happen, then which one will be the weakest gear, then we have to take the minimum of y into sigma b pinion or y into sigma b gear. Okay, so now which one will be the minimum, or we can say that f of ts, or we can say the minimum of y sigma b pinion or y sigma b gear will be the weaker gear or pinion, and design is done based on weaker gear or pinion. Okay, so this is our based on weaker gear and pinion. Minimum of this one will be the weaker gear or pinion, whatever it will be, and we have to design on the based on this thing. Okay, so this is all about our Lewis equation, that how the Wilfred Lewis has made the bending stress criteria, and it has given in 1829. He published a journal paper, and on that basis we are finding the strength of a gear. Okay, so today only this much. Next class we will say that what are the consequences of Lewis equation is we will be seeing, and after that we will be deriving the another criteria for designing the spur gear. Okay, so hope all of you are doing well, and if you have any problem, please ask me, and if it is helpful, share with your friends so that your friends also can be benefited. So thank you, we'll meet again in next class.